Okay, so this
Yep.
workshop is about getting clear what actually works for healthy eating and weight loss. Because why do I need to talk about that? Because looks like more than 90% of the things out there actually don't work. They're sort of a mix of things that do work and things that don't work. So part of my background is studying programs that work and how do you figure out how to replicate them in other places so that they continue to work. Because like whether it's in child and family services for children with serious emotional disturbance, or it's alcohol and drug abuse treatment programs, a lot of times we'll find one program that works really well in the country. It's like unusual and we want to copy it. But as soon as people start to copy it, it quits working. So it's been a real interest of mine to study how do you tell the difference between something that actually works and something that doesn't. And so when I started studying these things, I wanted to actually see the research. Okay, there's some new person every day, maybe 10 new people every day saying, I have something brand new for weight loss. And they don't have something brand new. They may have a brand new way of spinning it, but pretty much it's not something really new. And often it's not something that really works. So let's talk today about what actually works. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, so what is it doing there? Okay, so today we're going to talk about the #1 big mistake almost everyone's making. We're going to talk about the 3 keys that I discovered for getting great results, even for women in their 50s and 60s. Because after I found the keys that work, then I looked for other, are there other people teaching this way of eating so I can see if it's been successful for a lot of other people, and there were. And so I joined one of those groups and I observed, and a whole lot of the women in their 50s and 60s started coming to me because even though they had an eating plan that is effective, it wasn't working for them. So I really started getting to know some of them and understanding, okay, it's not just eating. There are 2 other big keys, at least for women of a certain age, that we really need to pay attention to. So I'll teach you about that. And we'll start seeing if we can shift your mindset towards success. Does it seem to you like mindset is part of the issue when it comes to healthy eating and weight loss? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody want to say how you've noticed mindset is part of the issue?
Well, there's so much, we talk about alcohol all the time in the other group, right? Food's even worse. In advertising, and everybody's having a good time with food and it's just in our faces.
Yep.
Plus the manufacturers are trying to get us to buy more, eat more.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
making it smell and taste better.
Right.
So all the stuff that tastes great is not good for us.
Right. They are making things
It's not fair.
not just really tasty, but they're making them addictive lots of times. The things that aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't have any control over that.
Right. Well, we can control addiction.
But we can control what we choose to eat, but we don't have any control over the idiots trying to make us addicted.
Oh, that's true. Absolutely. That's where we live. That's just part of it. Colleen, did you want to add anything to the mindset thought?
Well, what comes to me is that, there's a lot of information I know, so I can actually watch myself eating something that I'm clear is unhealthy.
Yes.
So why am I eating it anyway?
Yes.
So that, I think, is where mindset comes into it. I need to shift.
Like you're of 2 minds. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And the unhealthy one is winning out these days.
Right. Okay. Yep. So that's really it's so helpful.
I was thinking mindset has something to do with identity as well. Like, I find that helps, if I can remember, to think about who am I, and does what I'm about to do fit
I love
that
that
picture I have in my mind of who I am.
Yeah. There's sort of an integrity piece and an identity piece. I love that. Cool. All right. So I'd like to start a little bit with my story, and I know some people have heard parts of my story before, but I just can't do this without introducing my story. So The picture on the left was a day that I tried to look my best in 2014. I was about 55 years old and I was starting this consulting business. And I mean, you can just see I look really tired. I look really overweight. I look really, I don't know, sad, right? Like to me, what I remember of that time is I was in like a hole of despair. I had this image of myself in my 70s and 80s being really spry and active and, you know, spunky and all this. But already by 55, I could barely walk. I was talking to surgeons about back surgery and about foot surgery. My knees were hurting. I couldn't sleep well almost every night. I had chronic pain and inflammation. I took a lot of medications already. And I'm kind of anti-medication. Like, is there a way to avoid all these medications? Because you start taking one, it has a side effect. You have to start taking another one to deal with the side effects. I didn't want to live that way. What else? I was getting really bad viruses every year, several times a year, and they would really get bad. They would knock me down for like 10, 14 days. I was getting ear infections. I was losing my hearing. I ended up having to have an ear surgery. It's like my health was just going down. I look back, when I moved to Mexico, I went through all my papers to figure out what I had to save. And I could see that I was going to the doctor over and over and over saying, can you help me? I feel terrible. You know, of course they say, well, it would be good if you lost weight. They don't know how. But then I felt like everything I tried was failing and I was just really pretty miserable. I was over drinking, I was overeating every day, and I wasn't figuring out anything that helped me stop doing that. Every morning I'd make a promise to myself. I'm not gonna have my wine and cheese and olives and bread and chocolate tonight. I'm gonna eat healthy for once. And then by the evening I'd be like, yes, I am. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna eat as much as I possibly can. And it was putting me into a bad hole. And so I have this image of myself really healthy in my 80s, and I'm already barely able to walk. And I had a couple of wake-up calls. One thing is that I went to the doctor and had the blood panel, and they said I'm pre-diabetic. And I thought, oh, okay, I know that's really common nowadays, but it's really serious. I work in nursing homes with people who have diabetes, and I know it's really serious. It really starts to take your life. So that's the other thing. I started working in nursing homes, and I don't know if you guys know this. I sort of imagined that people in nursing homes are like people in their 90s, their late 80s and their 90s, but really the majority of them are in their 60s or 70s. So they really weren't that far away from me. And as I started studying it, I realized most of them are there due to something that relates to eating, drinking, smoking. It's like lifestyle choices. We know, like you said, Colleen, we know we shouldn't be doing that, but we're doing it every day anyways, and it's just starting to take us down. So I can tell you, I tried to help my nursing home patients break out of the nursing home, get well enough to go back home again, and I was never ever successful. Basically, once you're in a nursing home, you just can't regain the function. So I had a little talk with myself, like, Ginny, you're not looking forward to a very bright future. You're looking forward to going into a nursing home in the next 10 years. I don't know if I can change it at this point, and I don't know who can help me because everything I'm trying isn't working, but I've got to do whatever I can do. So I went to the literature because I had read, I don't know, dozens of books. I had tried dozens of diets. And I knew magic pills aren't working. I knew diets aren't working for me. I knew exercise wasn't working for me. So I just went straight to the research literature and I started applying the lessons that I learned. And little by little, over the next several years, I released all my excess weight. I went down from a size 16, 18 to a size 6. And it really got very easy. You know how you hear about the magic pill salespeople saying how the fat starts to melt off. It really did just start to just melt. I don't know. So I learned the principles that really work. I applied them. And then I started searching, are there other people eating this way who are having success? And I found that there's thousands of people who've been doing this for decades. So that gave me a lot of confidence, like, okay, I can really create a program that will help other women like me, who I found were having a difficult time. Oh, by the way, as far as immune system, I'd say I was quite sick at least 40 days out of every year for at least 10, 15 years. And now in the last 3 years, I maybe had one cold for a couple of days, and it was so minor that I wasn't sure I had a cold. So there's just been so many indications that my body, it's not just losing the weight, it's also the way I'm eating is really making my body so much healthier. So now I can, I could barely take a 10-minute walk. I could barely do the grocery shopping. Now I can go for a 3-hour hike. It's just given me my life back. So it's powerful, changing your eating this way. And I have a list of about, I think it's 100 people who have talked about very similar dramatic health changes from eating this way. So I don't know if you guys know that most people nowadays in our society are overweight. Was that the case when we were growing up?
No.
It definitely wasn't. Most people were not overweight. It was an unusual thing. Now it's over 70% of people are either overweight or obese. Really depressing. And the rates of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer are skyrocketing. So it's sort of to the point where we feel like that's just how it's supposed to be in our society now. Like we're just all supposed to get heart disease as we get older, or cancer, or diabetes as we get older. I have so many people say to me, well, yeah, I've got congestive heart failure, or I have prediabetes, but that's just part of growing older, I guess. And the thing is, if you look at traditional societies that don't eat the way we eat, they do not have those diseases. There's an interesting study called the China study. Have you guys heard of it?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, they found that in Chinese cities, suddenly people were showing up with obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Doctors didn't even have experience treating those things. They were new, and they just started going like crazy. And so they went and studied, well, what's the difference?
They got McDonald's.
Yeah, they did. They got our way of eating. Yeah. And so fast food and processed food and all the things about the ways that we eat. So the great thing is that we can absolutely turn this around. That's what I've seen with when you eat right, you don't have to get those diseases. You don't have to have obesity and overweight. Your body will like recompose itself. It's amazing. I suppose people could get to a point where they can't. I didn't know if I could turn it around. But for a lot of us, the clients I work with, we are able to turn these things around. I'll share a little bit more as we go. But so to understand what works, I really think it's very helpful to understand what doesn't work, because they don't always seem that different from each other. So almost all the clients who come to me say, I'm already eating pretty healthy. And that's how I felt too. But we're not getting good results. So we know something isn't right. But it's a little hard to discern what's working, what isn't working. How do I finally get to what absolutely works so that it's something I can live with and sustain? Does that make sense, that understanding what doesn't work could help you see what does work, the difference?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this number one big mistake almost everyone's making, and it makes us feel like nothing works. Do you guys ever feel that way? Like no matter what I do now, nothing works. Like something has happened with my body and nothing works anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lynn, did you unmute to say something?
I was just thinking that, or you find something that works for a little while, for a moment.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of success, but then it's either like really hard to maintain or something like that.
Exactly right. Yeah. I know that's true. Like a lot of people tell me, oh, I did keto and I lost all this weight and I was so excited and then I just gained it back. That's one I hear a lot. Yeah. Colleen, did you have a thought? I just am so responsive to your facial expression.
I think I would say for me, what's coming to mind is It's not so much feeling like nothing works. It's that I don't have the wherewithal to really try something I think will work. For me, it's a big mind shift thing that I need. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, who's going to keep trying if it feels like it's not going to work? I mean, I used to feel like such a failure with this. I don't want to keep trying things I'm going to fail at. Yeah. So, right. It is a big mindset shift. So let's see if this gives you a clue what the number one big mistake is, or if maybe you already know.
Exercise doesn't help,
Yeah.
just based on your picture.
Yeah. Exercise is really valuable for our health, but it actually does not help us lose weight the way we think it does. Yeah, it actually, if you assign people, like have people eating the same thing and you assign one group to exercise and the other group not to exercise, the exercisers lose less weight. It's very interesting. It's not what I used to believe.
Is it because they're building muscle mass?
It's a bunch of complicated things.
Bunch of things.
But
Okay.
so I'm going to explain it in terms of these two things. What's the other part here? Exercise more and eat
Not enough food.
less.
Right.
Eat less, yeah.
So there's a couple of big reasons that our body says, okay, we're not letting this happen, right? Our bodies, what do you know what one of the primary goals of your body is? Like you're not going to tell it, let go of the weight. It's going to do what it does. And what's a primary prerogative of the body?
It wants to be safe. And in times of famine, being fatter was safer.
Right. It wants to survive. Yeah. It's one of its priorities is homeostasis, right? You think about what happens if you get overhot. What does your body do? It's what mine's doing right now.
Yeah.
If you get overly hot, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
Oh,
sweat.
yeah. You perspire, sweat. Yeah.
Do you get to tell your body, you need to sweat right now because I'm really hot? No, your body does it, right? You don't have to think about it. Your body does what it needs to do to cool you off. When it feels like too hot, it does something. When it feels like we're not getting enough calories or we're burning too many calories, it also goes for homeostasis. So people have this idea that because of the first principle of thermodynamics, calories in and calories out have to always equal. People have this idea that we're going to manipulate this. We're going to exercise more and eat less, and our body's going to have to lose weight. And this has been the number one kind of primary thing that people are teaching us when we want to lose weight is exercise more and eat less. Well, you're not going to manipulate your body into letting go of the weight. Your body's going to try to maintain your weight. That's it.
I'm thinking our brains are smarter than that.
Yeah. Yep. Our bodies got to do what they got to do. So basically the body has a way of managing the calories in, calories out. So do you know a couple of ways it does that? Like a couple of mechanisms it uses if you start exercising more or eating less? How does it keep you from losing weight?
If you exercise less, your metabolism, if you eat less, your metabolism slows down. If you exercise more, your hunger increases.
Both of those things, yeah. So
that's my experience.
Yeah, it makes you hungry. It has really good chemical system to tell you you're hungry. You need to eat. It's interesting too. We could be eating just a huge amount of highly processed junky stuff, and it's going to keep telling you to eat, right? You still didn't get any nutrition yet. Keep going. So that's really kind of a disaster, right? Yeah, so it makes you hungry. The other thing it does is it slows your metabolism. So the system that, like your insulin system that functions to process fat out starts holding on instead, starts holding on to fat. So even people who are really slender, if they're eating wrong, they can have a lot of fat inside around their organs. Have you guys heard about this? Like you can see fatty liver in people who look really slender if they're eating poorly, if they're not eating the things their body needs. So there's 100 years of people telling us to do this. It's very interesting to look at this research because even though this breaks down every time, it doesn't work. The researchers say, well, it's because people didn't do it. People didn't stick with it. Well, you don't stick with it because your metabolism slows down. Your body tells you it's hungry. You can't stick with it. It doesn't work. So it's so discouraging to keep trying things that don't work. So if you feel like your body's fighting your weight loss, this is why. You're probably using an approach that your body says, uh-oh, we got to fix this. We got a problem. Sorry? Uh-oh, did I lose you guys? You there? I heard something. Are you guys all there? Oh,
You froze for a bit.
okay.
But now you're back.
Okay, good. Okay.
I thought you were hot. No, sorry. I'm trying to put more laughter into my life. So
There you
you
go.
guys might get a few.
Well, sounds good, Laura. Do you guys ever feel like your body's fighting your weight loss?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is. And it is to protect you. So you have to find a way of changing your eating that your body doesn't want to fight your weight loss. Does that make sense? There's no fooling it. It needs what it needs and it does what it does. So we really, in my program, we really work to change our attitude towards our bodies. Like, I want to take care of you. I want to nourish you. I want to help you feel great rather than just do what I want you to do. Does that make sense? A little bit?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a great poem. I don't think I included it in this setting, but it's sort of like, and I said to my body, do you remember this one, Colleen? Did I share this with you guys? And I said to my body, I want to make you happy and healthy. And my body said, oh, I've been waiting for you to notice I was here, like to recognize that I need that. What the marketers are pushing us to eat all the time is not going to make our bodies happy. It's going to make our bodies sick. And they will do what they have to do to cope with that. And we're not going to like those results. It's like if you did a repetitive motion thing all the time, right? What does your body start to do? Do you know?
Get inflamed.
It gets inflamed and it can like actually create extra bone. Like when I was in high school, the band got triple toms. Do you guys know what they are? 3 drums sticking way out. And at the time, they were really heavy. And all the kids said, oh, it's only going to be able to be boys that play that. And I went to the band director and I said, you got to have a girl play this the first year or there'll never be a girl playing this. And I'll do it, I'll learn it or get somebody else, but you got to have a girl. And so he put me on those drums. And you can see in the pictures, the guy and he's standing up straight, going forward, no problem. And I'm leaning way back to hold those drums up. Before very long, I had bone spurring in my back. And the rest of my life, until I changed my eating, I had terrible problems with back pain that were pretty immobilizing. Now, when I changed my eating, all those kinds of inflammation and pains went away completely. So, which is really remarkable. So our body's very plastic. Whether we're doing things that harm it, it's going to come up with a response to cope, or we're doing things that really heal it, it's going to respond. And we're going to really like the results better.
That is incredible, Ginny, that it healed itself all of those many years later.
And I don't know if that bone spurring is gone, but I don't have pain anymore.
So who cares?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, my whole life has changed. Yeah, it was at least 35 years of every day taking ibuprofen. And I don't know, I go 3 months without taking an ibuprofen. I couldn't quit one day. And I had added another pain medication at night because I was having so many, I don't know, weird pains. It is incredible. And I hear these stories all the time. changing your eating in a way that makes your body really happy, it makes a huge, huge difference. All right, so one of the principles to understand is a calorie is not a calorie. So you know how they sell those 100-calorie snack packs that are like processed foods like crackers or cookies or whatever? They seem like such a good idea when you're managing your calories. But a 100-calorie package of highly processed stuff is not the same as 100 calories of vegetables, right? Your body does not handle those two things the same way. This is one of the things, like Weight Watchers has some good ideas in some ways. Like you can get a lot of clarity about, oh, I didn't realize that was such a heavy food. I didn't realize I was eating so many calories with like in my glass of wine at night or whatever. But they also love to sell these highly processed packaged foods, which makes me crazy. Like, okay, so we're not really teaching people to eat healthy. We're not really helping people develop a way of eating that's going to make their bodies really happy. We're teaching people to cut calories, which is, yeah, a big reason why we end up with the yo-yo situation. So am I giving you guys a new idea?
Yeah.
My dog wants to come in and hear what we're doing. Hi, dog.
That's okay.
It's a new
He
idea.
knows you're talking to somebody.
Yeah. Is it surprising?
Not because you've done your mini course.
Oh, okay, cool.
Heard it there.
Uh-huh.
Before that, it would have been, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, sorry, Julie?
It's depressing.
Yeah.
Depressing because we've been getting the wrong information, right, for so long. Yeah. Yep, all right, so let's move on to what will help. All right, so 3 keys to great results. What do you think the first one's gonna be?
Eat more vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables.
It's gonna be changing how you eat. And eating more fruits and vegetables is part of one of 4 principles. So when I studied all this, I would find one principle, I would apply it, it would help me reduce some weight and feel better. And then I would discover another principle and I would apply it. It took me years to get my results, right? Which is one of the reasons I really wanted to create this program, is it doesn't have to take years if somebody's guiding you, if you can find somebody you trust, which I couldn't at the time. But yeah, you need to change the way you eat in a different way than you think. It's not about eating less. It's eating in a way that your body says, we're good, okay, we're happy. We're gonna let the weight go off. We're not scared, we're not worried. So you eat in a way to get your body to cooperate. Does that make sense? Does that help you at all? Does it give you a different way of
Yeah.
thinking?
Jenny, about how long does it take your clients to lose weight?
It really depends how much they want to lose, how motivated they are, how complicated their lives
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Can you
I
give
mean,
me a ballpark?
Well, one thing is, like, one of the reasons I created the 6-week program is because people can really drop 10, 15 pounds in that 6 weeks if they're ready to go and jump in.
Okay.
And that's motivating. For some people, that's all they want. I have somebody joining my program right now who really doesn't even want to lose weight. It's really about learning to eat in a way that makes us feel better. Yeah, so it depends on so many factors. Yeah. So 4 principles that really work together, and the first one has to do with eating a lot more highly nutritious foods. And the thing is, you have to get clear how much more. I mean, we all kind of know I should be eating more nutritious foods. What else do we all kind of know? That's probably one of the principles. You alluded to it, Colleen.
We should stop eating the foods that we know are not good for us.
Yeah.
So the highly processed ones.
Right. So those are really the first 2 principles, and we all kind of know them, but we don't know how to implement them effectively enough, how to be really successful with them. And so that's what I figured out, and what I teach people is how to do those 2 enough, and what the other 2 principles are.
Drink lots of water.
I'm sorry?
Drink lots of water.
Drink lots of water is a good idea. It can help, right? Because sometimes you're thirsty and you think you're hungry, and because it flushes your system, especially early on when you're when you're eliminating toxins, like a lot of you have quit drinking recently, and yeah, drinking water helps get those toxins out. And while your body's getting toxins out, it's uncomfortable, right? It feels lousy. And that can
And
happen.
drinking water is a really big challenge for some people. I'm one of those people. I have never been a water drinker.
Yeah.
So now I'm really trying to drink more water.
What helps you do it?
But it is a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, is there anything that helps you?
No, threatening myself. No, I just,
Oh, boy.
honestly, I can go days and not drink water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, some people would say they just can't believe that.
Yeah.
So every day it is an effort to drink water. Yeah, I'm starting to pour myself a jug in the morning and add a little bit of lime juice and lemon juice because I really don't like it plain and I don't like it cold. So I just let it sit out overnight. And then I have that big picture and I'm trying to, get to the bottom of it every day.
Yeah.
I may do that two or 3 days a week and the rest I don't make it.
Which is progress, right? Because you've kind of made it a project, you've kind of figured out some ways that make it more palatable for you. What I noticed was when I would go to the salon and they had the big thing of water with like slices of orange and lemon and lime, it looked so appetizing to me. And I was so happy to drink a little of that water. So the year I was losing weight, or a couple of years, I would keep something like that in the refrigerator. And so every time I opened the refrigerator, I felt like, oh, that looks good. I'm going to pour some water. But finding your way of feeling like, oh, that looks good. I want to have some of that. Yeah, that's how this is all done. I'm going to find a way to make it more palatable to me. I'm going to find a way to really enjoy this. And then as it becomes a habit, you don't have to work at it so hard, right?
I started doing the making hibiscus blueberry tea. I write about that on our forum, but I tried it. There's a little cafe where I live, and they serve that as their drink, as iced tea. And I started buying that, and it's red and it's a little tart. And
Nice.
I switched over. I keep that in my refrigerator all times.
Nice.
Make it really strong so it has some flavor, but it's not like sweet.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Some tea. Yeah, a good way to drink water.
And it's not caffeinated,
Right.
It's just the herbal tea.
Nice. And it's I think it's kind of detoxing too. So it's probably helping. Yeah. All right. So first key is to change how you eat to get your body to cooperate. I will tell you, I teach people very specifically and in detail how to do this, because doing a little of it and a hodgepodge of things, I'm going to do a little of this and a little of that, will never get you to the results, and it'll just be frustrating. So it's really learning, really, what does it take to get these big results? How do you change your eating? And then figuring out, how do you do it in a way that you love it, and it becomes quite easy and it fits your lifestyle. So it can be a little bit of a project to figure all those pieces out. But once you get there, it's like what all my clients say, and my friends doing this is easy. This is not that hard. A bit of effort up front to do something different, but after that, it becomes easy and really enjoyable. Okay, any guess about the other two keys? Eating is the first one. Eat differently.
Is it when or how often you eat?
Yep, when and how often are part of changing how you eat. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's one of the 4 principles. Yes.
So maybe shifting like a mindset, like deprivation.
Yes. That is the second one. Oh, so I guess I have these slides in here that I just wanted to talk about. So we're going for big results. That's why we're going for eating in a way that actually works. And it's pretty specific, but it makes tremendous sense and it becomes really enjoyable. So here's some of the big results. I have a list of 100 people now. I could have more if I put more time into it, because there's hundreds and hundreds of people that I see reporting these results. All of those, yeah. Just so you turn this kind of corner from I'm doing some improving to I have completely turned around my health. And I'm back in my slender right-sized body and it wasn't hard. There's just, you get to a point with doing this enough where it changes things in a really big way. Are any of those important to any of you guys? Heart functions, blood pressure, breathing issues, hormone functioning? Oh, I had
The
this.
pain's the big one
Which one?
for me. Pain. It's
Pain.
the big one for me right now.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest reports I hear from people is I've eliminated pain and inflammation. It's big. Yeah. Mental functioning. Yeah, a lot of people report I'm just thinking better. I don't have, like I used to have brain fog. It was very frustrating to me. I think that intelligence and ability to communicate are really important things to me, like part of who I see myself as being. And when my brain functioning was just really slow and sluggish and like there was a curtain over my thinking, it was very frustrating. Look, our bodies can't handle it if we're not giving them the right things and if we're giving too many of the wrong things. They'll handle it, but we won't enjoy the results. A lot of people report improved gut functioning, improved sleep. I went from sleeping poorly almost every night to sleeping well almost every night. Just a complete turnaround. And I never thought I could change all that. Improved energy, mobility, hair and skin. I already talked about the immune system. This is not a way that scientists do it that I know of, but I estimate that I improved my immune system by 40 times. I used to be quite sick 40 days of the year, and now it's less than 1 day a year. Feels important right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So one of the reasons I talk about all the big results is it's a big enough change to most people's eating that you need to kind of know there's some big results out there. Like it can really change things in a big way. All right, the third key. First, you change how you eat to get your body to cooperate. Oh, second, you transform mindsets to change your behavior. So we already talked about that a little bit. Just gotta see my notes here. Oh, I was gonna say my business coach is always telling me your clients don't care about mindset. Don't talk about mindset. They wanna lose weight. And I'm always telling him, you don't know my clients. They're intelligent, wise, mature women, and most of them realize I have mindsets that are keeping me from succeeding, and I don't even want to try again unless you're going to help me with my mindset. So I don't know, he could be right, but I want you to know, since you're here, mindset is big. So there was the way I was always fighting myself. I'm not going to eat this. I am going to eat this. It's exhausting, right? And it's frustrating to feel like you said, Colleen, the I am going to eat this wins just way too often. You know, it's a part of your brain, and it's really two different parts of your brain. That's a part of your brain that's faster than the thinking, goal-directed, rational side of your brain. So you need to learn some skills to manage the mindsets, and you need to achieve some mindset shifts. And one of the mindsets I find I had and my clients had is I take care of everyone else all day, all the time. And at the end of the day, when I want my wine and my chocolate and my cheese and blah, 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 I deserve this, was one of the things I said to myself all the time. Is that something that you guys find you say to yourself?
Yep.
I deserve this treat. Yeah.
I was caregiver for my parents for 2 years. Well, my dad for a year and then mom for another year. Just mom for another year. So, and migrated across country to do that.
Yeah. Wow.
6 weeks
Yeah.
there, 6 weeks at my home, 6 weeks at their home, 6 weeks at my home.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then I ripped my rotator cuff so I could stay home.
Oh yeah. You needed to do something, huh? To interrupt.
I think that was part of the reason I fell.
Yeah.
I really do.
Wow.
Because subconsciously I was burned out. And so my subconscious said, do something to fix it. Okay. Break something.
In the alcohol freedom group that I'm in, people have been talking about you know, we've all learned to take care of others and ignore ourselves in so many ways. Like we will, if someone says, here, have a glass of wine, please have this cake, I made it for you. It's hard for us to say no, even if we know this is not good for me right now. I'm really trying to do something different. We don't have a very good ability to say no. So instead we say, yeah, I deserve this. Well, I had to have a talk with myself. Like, Jenny, you're feeling really badly in terms of your health. You're feeling really badly about your ability to say no to yourself, about your integrity with your own self, and being able to follow your own rules. So what are you saying when you say, I deserve this? Like, my life sucks and it looks like it's going to suck and I'm going to end up in a nursing home. So what am I saying when I say I deserve this? You know, chocolate and wine, etc. I guess what I'm saying is I really don't have the energy to go for what I really deserve in life, for all the really great aspects of life that I'm missing out on. All I have the energy for by the end of the day is the quickest kind of pleasure, quickest access to pleasure. So I really wanted to change my attitude about what I deserved. And so that's one of the things a lot of us work on is, what do I truly deserve in life? And how can I live my life to have what I truly deserve? Does that trigger anything for you guys?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I apologize that my phone rang and I had to get it. And so I'm back, and I don't know if you addressed this, Ginny, but the thing about my eating at night is not only I deserve it, but it's I want to feel happy.
Yeah, okay.
So it's an emotional response.
Yes.
So if I eat this little bag of chocolates, I'm going to feel better.
Yes. Yes.
So whereas a carrot stick is not going to do that
Yeah.
for me. So there's that whole emotional aspect that I think
It
is
is,
part of the
absolutely.
mindset thing as well.
One of the things that we talk
Yeah.
about, because you just interchanged happy with pleasure. So one of the things that we talk about is there a difference between happiness and pleasure? And we're not going to go way into that right now because we don't really have time, but it would be worth doing a little bit of work on. What pleasure, what you're going for is a dopamine response or a serotonin response. You're going for a particular hormone response to alleviate discomfort, right? That's not the same as happiness. And that habit is what leads to addiction. And does addiction lead to happiness?
No.
Not really, right?
No.
So that's a really quick way of talking about this, but we talk about it in my program. Let's tease apart this question of pleasure and the serotonin and dopamine response from the question of happiness. Yeah. And I'm going to move on because I feel like we're really late and I see I have a lot of slides to go. Oh, here's another mindset I had. Like I would see recommendations to eat a lot of vegetables. And I would say, well, I think I eat enough vegetables and I don't want to eat too differently from other people. I shouldn't have to eat too differently from other people. Yeah. And so I don't know if you guys have this, but look, if I'm not eating differently from other people, these are the results I get. These are the results I was getting, and these are the results we get if we eat like other people. This is what our diet leads to, right? So I really wanted to work on that mindset too. My body doesn't care what I'm telling myself about what I'm eating. It's going to cope. It's going to do what it does to cope. And if I'm eating those foods that I'm showing there, it's going to make me more hungry. It's going to say, okay, you just gave me a whole lot of really heavy food, but you didn't give me nutrients. I need you to keep eating. Right? And also these kind of foods break our satiety system. So the hormones that tell us you've had enough to eat don't function right anymore. There's a whole lot of things that our body does to protect us when we're not getting enough nutrients. So we can be overfed and undernourished. And that probably describes most Americans and maybe most people in the world now. It's really frustrating to me now that I understand the truth. So the 3 keys. Oh, the third key is lifestyle. And so like when I was growing up, we would go out for a special meal, like on our birthdays. Like our family would go out 5 times a year. I was going out 5 times a week. Having wine with dinner was not a once in a while thing. It was an every time thing. Pretty soon, 2 glasses of wine with dinner was an every time thing. So this lifestyle of indulgence, like I didn't have the ability to say no to myself. I indulged all the time. One of my clients, Maureen, put it like, I eat like a queen every single night. And I'm not liking the queenly body that goes with that. She's one, we really had to work on the I deserve this mindset, because she had the right way of eating. She was in this other program for a long time, and she learned the right way of eating, but she wasn't doing it. So she came to me and we really worked on the mindset and lifestyle issues, and she was able to make the change to really enjoying a healthy way of eating that her body responded well to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So our bodies need what they need. You can't expect me to eat so many vegetables or give up my nightly wine. Who am I arguing with? God? I don't know. You know, I had to just really start asking myself, who are you arguing with? Your body needs what it needs. You're either going to figure out how to work with it, or you're going to fight it and it's going to fight you. Make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that fighting, I want it. No, I don't want it. It's 2 different parts of our brain, and the primitive parts of our brain that I point to back here are the part of the brain that govern more automatic habitual behaviors. They drive us to maintain the status quo. And the way I talk about that is, if I've been sitting on the couch eating bonbons and crying every day, at the end of the day, that part of the brain checks. How did the day go? Nobody died? Let's do this every day. Let's sit on the couch eating bonbons and crying and drinking wine every day. It's perfect. Then there's this part of our brain going, this is terrible. You know, I feel awful. I do not want this addictive behavior. I want more to life than this. So we've got these 2 parts of the brain that are fighting with each other. At first, to change your eating takes battle, having some battle and really getting clearer, getting the part of your brain that's more intentional, more involved in your eating, which feels uncomfortable, right? You have to fight with yourself a little bit to get that going. But little by little, what you want to do is make these habits, these healthy ways of eating that your body loves, your habits. You want them to become really automatic. And that's part of what we teach in my program. Because you don't want to have to think about your eating that hard for forever. You can't. It has to become habitual. So we go from this attitude of I'm on a diet to this is just how I eat. So we're really not going for a temporary change, right? We're not gonna like do something temporarily, drop some weight, and then go back to eating the way we've been eating. What we're doing is learning a way of eating that our body loves and learning to do it in a way that we love it. Like, I just love eating this way. Can you guys believe me when I say I and my clients and my friends eating this way really feel that way?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'm ready to feel that way to make that shift, but I believe you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm tired of things being hard right now.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you got to decide if it's the right time to do something.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not sure.
a little bit hard. But also, I think about so many people, you know, this happens in my program, it happens in this Naked Mind. You might go through the program more than once, and the first time you might not get all the results you want. But like I have a client who's just finishing with me right now. She went through the intensive, Naked Mind intensive twice and just really didn't get stopped with her drinking. Now, this time she's doing it with me, and it's like she's got 115 days now. It's feeling great. She's getting great results. She's totally confident. She's loving it. She's really not white knuckling it. She's really enjoying it. She probably had to do it that way. She probably had to go through it, you know, two times without coaching and 1 time with coaching to get it to work. And that might happen for people here too. Like, I just have to learn the key principles and later do the work. which is one of the reasons I created this brief program, because before I had a 12-month program, you pay up front for a year, because I really wanted to get people who were going to have great results. And a year commitment, people are in. Like, they have to really think before they put down that money. All right, one perspective shift or insight you've had today, what would you guys say?
Thinking about happiness versus pleasure.
That's a good one, right?
That's a good one. Yeah, I hadn't heard that before, I don't think. I think I knew it intuitively maybe, but hadn't put it into words.
Yeah. Anything else?
Well, I'm finding that this call is really inspiring me, because that's part of it, right? Is I want to, I know it's going to be, it's for me, the big thing is the mindset shift. So I know that it's going to be a project. It's going to require some work, and it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
So I feel more now like I'm getting ready to start.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I'm getting some energy behind it. So it's, yeah, this is providing some inspiration.
Nice.
Because you need something at the beginning, right?
So yeah, you do.
Something.
Yeah. Which is
the vision.
Yeah. One of the reasons I do a call beforehand is, let's figure out if this is a good time for you. Do you have a little bit of energy for this? Yeah. Or are you coming into it looking for a magic pill? Like what you just said is exactly what I look for. It's going to be a little bit of work for a little while, but I'm energized for it. I'm ready. And I mean, every single client tells me this is not that hard. I thought it was going to be harder than this. So I kind of want you to hold on to that hope.
Okay.
Lynn, were you going to say something, or did you already?
I'm just thinking about the whole thing. I think that I'm not sure how this program works, but I think doing it with others, like kind of like in a group, is a really good idea for me. Like, I think that's been helpful for me.
Yeah.
In our other program. And I think it's all like, I know that I know what I need to do, but just like making all the changes that you need to do. And I find my barriers are similar to the drinking, where a lot of it is social.
Yeah.
It's what are the people around me wanting to eat, and a lot of my socializing is around eating, and so that is where the mindset stuff comes in, because sometimes you have to go against the flow.
Right, that's true. That's such a good point. I think they're so related to the eating and the drinking, which is why my program deals with both, really. But I have had quite a few people say the fact that I've had some success quitting drinking really set me up for success with this eating program. Like, I already have a bunch of those skills that I need. Anybody else want to share?
I think one could support the other too.
Absolutely, they do. Yeah.
As you start feeling better and being more nourished properly, you're not going to want to go backwards as much.
To put toxins in your body. Once you really start feeling what it's like not to be putting toxins in your body, it's like, why would I do that anymore? That didn't feel good. Yeah. Cool.
I like the idea of getting your mind and your body working together.
I love that.
What a concept.
Well, because sometimes you ignore one, like I am not as aware of, anyway, my body and my mind. I'm in my head all the time and I'm not paying attention.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, it is something I really encourage my clients to do, is start noticing how your body's telling you it's getting better. Yeah, it's part of what will keep you going. Well, the rest of the slides talk about the intensive program. So you guys feel ready to go on to that? And if you have to leave, I know it's been an hour and I understand. And I don't think we'll take more than 10 more minutes, but
I'll stay on for a few minutes because my friends and I are going to go for a walk at 2:15.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they wanted to go at 2 and I'm like, give me 15 minutes.
Oh, cool. All right, so the intensive program is opening. I told you I did a 12-month program for several years so I could really help people get great success. And people have been saying, can you create something shorter that I can jump in on and learn the key principles? It took me a year to figure out, how can I teach the key principles in 6 weeks so people can get it enough to do it? So that's what I've done. And I've done the program once now. And the people who graduated said that was life-changing. And I'm going to eat this way the rest of my life. It was, so I'm very confident now telling you this can be an absolutely transformative experience. Change your weight, change your sleep, change your energy. The secrets, you learn to eat so your body cooperates with your weight loss. You probably know already some of the principles, but not enough or aren't applying them effectively enough to get the results. So we'll get very clear about that. And you learn how to make it really easy, enjoyable, and effortless. Doesn't that sound important?
Mhm.
The first day, the first week, you're not going to feel like it's easy, enjoyable, and effortless. Like grabbing a pizza and a beer is going to be the thing that sounds easy and enjoyable and effortless. But eating in a way that your body goes, oh, thank you. I can do so many things now. That has to become like that. It has to become easy, enjoyable, and effortless. So I think that's really important. It's part of how we teach this. So we teach you how to eat differently, and we work on some mindset shifts and lifestyle tweaks to make it easier. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
So here's one testimonial. I have to ask her for permission for her picture. This is a stock picture, but she's beautiful and I'd love to share her picture. She said, this intensive program has been life-changing. My thinking has completely shifted about how I eat, and I have so much more calm and peace around food than I've ever had. It just makes sense and feels right to eat this way. And she had these astonishing doctor's visit results. She's had IBS so bad for years that she couldn't travel. She couldn't get away from a bathroom. And she was having like problems with her esophagus. I can't remember. She was having spots on her kidneys that they were worried about, and liver enzymes elevated that they were worried about. The last time she went to the doctor was right after finishing this program, and those things were all gone. And she said, I don't know if it's from eating this way. And the reason I think it is from eating this way is I've heard hundreds of these stories. It's just remarkable. She also loves the sense of freedom and joy that goes with this way of eating. So when you first hear about it and you get a little scared, is she going to make me give up something I really like? You don't think I'm going to have freedom and joy from eating this way, right? You're like, oh, I just hope I can do it.
Right.
This is someone who's only done this for 6 weeks, and she says, I love the sense of freedom and joy that go with this way of eating. Is that encouraging?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And Barb, this is a picture of Barb, who was in my program, says she's in awe at how much she have benefited from the program, that I'm approachable, supportive, smart, and organized. I like those. That she's achieving lasting weight loss, changing habits, and being and feeling healthy. And it's so much more doable and enjoyable than people might think. So some of what you get is the complete eating plan that gets results. So it's very, very clear. You won't be confused anymore about, should I be eating this? How much of this should I be eating? It's very specific. You'll understand how the so-called healthy snacks you're eating are making things worse and how you can completely avoid that trap. How to happily resist non-nutritious so-called foods that are messing with your hormones, your weight, and your health. And 7 ways to make this way of eating, I call it happy body eating, easy, enjoyable, and effortless. And Krista also said this intensive program is life-changing. She dropped 15 pounds over the 6-week program. So happy to be fitting in pre-kid jeans. And she says the plan makes so much sense. Everybody says that. This plan makes so much sense. That makes it easier to stick with, right? I'm confident I'll eat this way the rest of my life, which I never thought about the prior 400 weight loss programs I tried. Isn't that a cute picture of her? I love her. So the way to get into my program is to schedule a Slender for Good assessment. A couple of you have had those recently. Colleen has, well, we didn't exactly do the assessment, but we did a call. And Barb has. And I do that still because I don't want to just cram as many people into this program as possible. I still want to know the people in the program and have a chance to talk about whether the program's really a good fit for them. I still want people to really be successful with this program. And so when you finally do what works, your body starts cooperating. It's a completely different experience when your body's cooperating with you compared to when it's fighting with you. Does that resonate for you at
I
all?
love that picture of you. I love that picture of you, Ginny.
Thank
It's
you.
so great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that
felt,
is good.
it felt really good to drop the weight, and I can go to the closet and pull out anything and it looks cute and it's comfortable and I don't have stress over getting dressed every day like I used to. Yep, so I guess that's it. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
So whenever I have been trying to lose weight, of course, one of the big things is either hunger
Uh-huh.
or lack of energy. Like if you're limiting carbohydrates or something like that, like you can get yourself into a way where you're losing weight, but you just don't have any energy.
Oh, yeah. No, the way that I'm recommending that you eat is going to make your body feel great. And most people do not have hunger on this plan. I can't say 100%, but most people are like, I don't even know if I can eat as much as you're recommending. I don't recommend eating less. I recommend eating more. But it's a lot more nutritious foods. So your body, you're not generally feeling hungry. However, at the beginning, the first week or two, you can feel detox. Because you're getting things flushed out of your system that when you eat things that are toxic, which most of us do in our society, your body stores it as fat. It goes, I don't know what that is, that red dye number 6, I don't know what that is, I'm going to store it in fat. So to the extent you've been eating things that are toxic or drinking toxic things, you might, for the first week or two, really feel sick as the toxins come out of your body. After that, you start feeling energized.
I have another question. And maybe these are questions I should ask on the call, but I mean, of course, I think all of us understand we should probably all be eating more vegetables. And I'm wondering, I want to make sure that that includes like cooked vegetables, because I'm not always great with.
Yeah, I don't care if you cook them or don't cook them. I don't think your body cares. It's getting the nutrition. Yeah. Yeah. Good question, though. A lot of people feel that way. Like, you're not going to make me eat a lot of raw vegetables, are you?
Well, I mean, I like some, but
yeah,
I can't just eat salad and
I know.
vegetables constantly,
Yeah.
I remember trying to just put a huge bunch of lettuce on my plate and just going, oh my God, is that unappetizing? When I started adding a bunch of other things that I really like, including some cooked vegetables, like some roasted Brussels sprouts on top, it became this amazingly delicious, fantastic thing. And that's part of what we figure out is how can I really look forward to the food that I'm going to eat? How do I need to prepare it? Right. Other questions?
What if I don't enjoy cooking?
Well, I know one person who hired a chef. I have somebody cooking for me right now. It really helps. One of the things a lot of us do is prep our food. Like I was prepping my food every Sunday for the week and just putting it like in weighed and measured packages so that I could pull things out. Like especially at dinner, a lot of us find I can't have to do a lot of cooking right then. I'm hungry, I'm tired, I don't feel like it. I'm going to grab something that's in a package. So you do more preparation ahead of time, I would say, to make it easy on yourself. I will say as a CEO, when I started looking at this, I said, oh, it's got to be easy. It's got to be convenient. It's got to be in packages. Okay, you're just not going to get results. If you just have to keep eating processed food out of packages, you're not going to get good results because your body is going to go, okay, toxins. Yeah, we're going to handle it like toxins, not like food. But it doesn't have to be so hard. Yeah. Does that help, Julie? Yeah. A lot of people do really simple things. Some people love to create entire, big recipes, but for a lot of people, it's easier to do something really simple. Yeah, you totally can do that. I give you categories of foods and the amounts of those categories. I don't tell you, you should, there are diets that say, make this meal exactly. I don't do that. Yeah, as you know. All right, any other questions, comments? How are you feeling? Are you feeling like confused, excited, hopeful?
I feel better about it. I'm gonna try.
Oh, yay, Kathy. Not so scared. Kathy was kind of scared.
Yeah. So I don't think I need to do the assessment, do I?
No.
I'll just send it in. Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the program is filling fast this time. So if you haven't
Good news.
signed up, let me know, schedule your appointment, let me know you're interested, etc. Like I say, maybe in the future, I'll take 100 people into this class, but this time I really don't want more than 15. I still want to know everybody and make sure that you can get the benefits from it.
So how do you do that if you're going to sign up?
You scheduled that assessment call with me.
Okay.
I'll see you guys. I gotta go get my tennis shoes.
Yeah. Have fun, Laura.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All
All right, thank you guys for coming. You were great. I hope it was helpful.
Thank
And
you
when
very
is it
much,
starting?
Ginny. It was great. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Did you say something, Lynn?
When is it starting?
It starts a week from today at this same time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.